It's been a while, but the Xterra is back on the channel. The last time I did a video on this truck was December 19th, 2019, and today is December 12th, 2020. So yeah, it's been a while. I've been doing the dual resident thing back and forth between Spokane Valley, Washington and San Diego, California, and whenever I'm home in San Diego, the Beetle has been getting most of my attention. It didn't run for like 9 months and now it runs again, and so it's time to give the Xterra some love. Nothing too exciting in this video, but I did want to put up some Xterra content, so here's a quick how-to and review on these Beamtech LED headlight bulbs. I've had this truck for 10 years now, and I've run maybe 3 or 4 different sets of headlight bulbs with mixed results. Now, quick note, I get a lot of comments saying that the Xterra is not a truck, it's an SUV. But dude, it's a freaking Frontier with a full-time camper shell. That's how SUVs came to be. People had trucks, and they're like, cool, wouldn't it be nice to have a full-time camper shell? And that's how the SUV was born. The Xterra is a body-on-frame truck, not to be confused with these wimpy little crossovers that everyone's so excited about. Do you guys remember when the Blazer was actually a truck? It was a C10 truck with a camper shell, much like the Bronco is. And the new Bronco is pretty cool, but the new Blazer is a crossover. It's not a truck anymore. It looks cool, but it's not a truck anymore. It used to be cooler. Anyway, end rant. Like I was saying, I've run a few different headlight setups on this truck, and I was never really impressed with them. The first set of LEDs I ran were bright, and they looked really cool, but they weren't super functional. You couldn't tell the difference between high beam and low beam. They weren't all that awesome. I later tried these aux beam bulbs, and they were slightly better, but the beam pattern was still super vague, and the projection wasn't there either. One may argue that the reason why the headlights didn't work so good was that my headlight lenses were really hazy and faded. But one night when I was driving home from Lake Tahoe in the middle of a snowstorm, I stopped at an O'Reilly and I picked up these performance halogens, and these made a huge improvement over the LEDs. With the LEDs, I was basically blind driving through the snow. I couldn't see anything. There was snow all over the place and the light was just reflecting off of the snow. But with the halogens, I was able to see down the road and I was able to get home safely. I ended up keeping these halogens on the truck for a really long time. I did a 12,000 mile road trip from San Diego to Florida to Niagara Falls, all the way across to Medford, Oregon, and down and back, through snow, through rain, through all kinds of stuff, and they worked great. Anyway, last winter I tried out these Beamtech headlights on my Subaru. The Subaru doesn't have a turbo, it's not the funnest car in my fleet, but it has the best night visibility, so I decided to try these bulbs on the Xterra. Quick note, we all know that saying lefty loosey righty tighty, right? But for the purpose of this video, if you're standing right in front of the headlight lens, it's going to be backwards. So we're going to turn right to loosen and left to tighten. Think about it. It makes sense. Turn the lock ring toward the right to loosen and pull out the bulb. Whenever handling halogen bulbs, it's always important to use gloves because the oils on your hands can actually damage the glass. Pull the bulb off the connector and then fish for the lock ring if you drop it like I did. The next step was a little confusing at first. The instructions were clearly written by a Chinese person trying to speak English. There were little pictures and kind of showed you that you should twist something off of the new bulb, but it wasn't really clear as to what it was. It just said to be careful. And I tried to do that, but nothing budged. And then I noticed this teeny tiny little Allen screw. So I loosened that, and then the lock ring on the bulb comes off easily. Put the lock ring from the headlight lens on first, followed by the bulb lock ring, and then replace the Allen screw. Be careful, it is possible to put the lock ring on backwards. I did, on the driver's side. Plug in the connector. Put the bulb back in the lens housing, and twist the lock ring to the left. Process is the same on the airbox side. Twist to release the old bulb and pull it out. Install the housing lock ring onto the new bulb. Plug in the connector. Insert the bulb. And twist to the left to lock it in. I don't have any night driving shots just yet. I forgot to do that before flying back to Washington. But what I can say is that these lights are very bright. I tested them out just after sunrise, and even with a little bit of sunlight peeking from behind you, you could still see the headlights projecting down the street. There's also a very clear distinction between the low beam and high beam, which is a huge improvement over the other bulbs I've tried. I'll do a follow-up video when I head back to San Diego later this month. Hope you guys found this helpful. Make sure to hit like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stuff. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.